buongiorno, students, whatever that word is, and everybody sends out a chorus of like custom answers, like, oh, piacere, oh, blah, 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 blah. And I was sitting there, and I was like, I was half a second from saying hola. I was in fucking retard reading class in kindergarten.
Were you?
Because yeah, and it's so funny because like by second grade I loved reading and I figured it out, but they had like these little picture book things. I've told this either on my channel or on the show years ago. And you know how it would be like Jack rides a bike. The bike is red. The red bike goes fast, that kind of shit. I just remembered all the stories and would memorize the stories instead of learning how to read. And then one day when the teacher brought out, Susie's purple picnic basket or whatever instead of Jack's red bike, I just second nature thinking about playing with Connects or whatever in the corner again, started saying the wrong book. She caught me, realized I hadn't learned how to read at all, sent me to the retard class. It was me and 2 other people. And I realized immediately at the age of 5, I was like, I do not belong here. But I did get like a couple months of so many candies and treats because if you could read the word stuff in there, that bitch was, oh, Taylor, that is so good. You're improving so much. And I'm just sitting there like, may I have another strawberry? And so I got so many treats. And then she eventually moved me back out of there when I did learn to read. So I spent a few months in the retard Sylvan Learning Center.
I'm telling you, what you did in elementary school is basically how I go through my life. Low expectations. I always listen. I want people thinking I'm dumber than I am. You know what? You know what they don't expect from the dumb guy? Anything. Guys, set the expectations for people on you lower. So that way they don't expect anything smart. And when something does come out, they're like, oh, okay, look at that. That's been always been. I'm like I want people to think this is the best I can do. So even when I just do a little bit over, they're like, good job, buddy. You did a good job. I think
none of those kids in the normal class were getting treats when they read the sentence. No, we were all learning the same way, but I got treats.
I had the opposite experience, Taylor. Yeah, I've told this before, but it cracks me up. So at my schools in the school system, we got report cards 4 times a year, but then we got midterm deficiency reports 4 times a year. So 8 times a year, we got some sort of negative feedback about my school progress. I never went even a quarter or half a quarter without my parents getting some sort of, Woody sucks at school. And I'm in like 10th grade or so, and my mother is bringing this up to me. She's like, Woody, what is going on here? Why is it that you never make like even a few weeks without me hearing about how you're failing some class or another? And I was like, 3rd grade, I kicked ass. And she goes, huh? She thought you were retarded. I fought to keep you in regular classes in 3rd grade.
She had to sleep with your teacher, fucking
Forrest Gump style.
You're just sitting out there post on the front porch, and she's getting railed out by some stinky, sweaty superintendent.
She was enthusiastic about my education.
Mama's just up there keeping me in school.
Holy shit. You've told that before, but it hit me
it's
just as hard.
I've
forgotten it.
Yeah.
I have forgotten that.
She thought you were retarded.
What a horrible thing to say to your child.
No, she won the argument.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Right quick,
you were 15.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, I never even had bad grades for the most part, like throughout school. It was just like all my progress reports and teachers' meetings were like, yeah, he participates a lot in class, but it's mostly joking around and talking to other classmates. Yeah. This kid does not shut up. And that was the only thing I would ever really get in trouble for.
So I imagine that's how you were, Josh. Yes, no?
Yeah, I never, you know what? I was fun to have in class, but I didn't retain shit. Like I could sit in an entire class and walk out and be like, what was that about? I have no idea. And so I like to have fun in class. I would definitely I was a little bit of a pain in the ass to my teachers, but that's because the only thing I was good at was being a wise ass. When they started the learning, that was not my strong point. You know, I could sit there
in class in something that you were so out of your depth that you just like laughed at yourself. Like,
yeah, art history.
Art history was the one that got you? How?
Listen, man, when they were like, this is the thing. Because for me, what I'm not good at is, like, if you go, I'm going to give you a list of 10 names. You got to remember those 10 names. I smoke too much weed for that. And I always have. So if you're asking me to remember. So, like, art history is all about memorizing names and dates and all that stuff for the tests. And I couldn't do it, man. It was supposed to be the cakewalk. Any class where I could bullshit. So if you were going to have me write an essay, I'm in. If you were going to be like, give an oral, like, yeah, I got that. But anything where it's no facts, that was not it. And art history was all facts, man. I just needed to know who and when, and I could never remember that shit ever. I was good.
And it seems boring. You know, I'm sure it's not that boring, but like, if it's interesting, like I can name all of the fucking Lord of the Rings stats, and that's the same thing as history. It's just that the Lord of the Rings stuff doesn't actually help me. Right?
Are there stats in Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
All the, well, you know, not really the stats, the lore, I guess. Better way to say it. You know? Yeah. What percentage of Gondorians are fucking blacksmiths? You know?
Yeah.
You're talking about the art history thing. I mentioned this recently, so I'll keep it short, but I remember senior year of college, first day of Italian 2, I took Italian 1 2 years prior, forgot all of it. And when she comes in and she goes, buongiorno, you know, students, whatever that word is, and everybody sends out a chorus of like custom answers, like, oh, piacere, oh, blah, 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 blah. And I was sitting there and I was like, I was half a second from saying hola.
That's what I would have said.
I know that I'm gonna internally
You're like Brad Pitt and Inglourious Bastards. Buongiorno.
Buongiorno. Gorlami. Yeah.
Say it again. Let me hear the music in it.
I just
Gorlami.
Either subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out.